today. I didn't know this was gonna be what it ended up one of them, so I have to record that third video so you can get 3 videos. So if I'm not bored, if you're bored and stay in the house all day, just watch 3 videos. Like it'll make you not bored. Go play some 2K. Before you watch the video first, but go play some 2K and other stuff like that. But here's theories that we didn't know about. Well, and y'all didn't know about the NBA. I was just looking at. I was looking at one video, right? It was like theories about the NBA we did not even know. I was just curious, like, what is he talking about? And like, just watching some of it makes a lot of sense on what happened to Kobe. I can't spoil what we gotta watch it. Like some of these things that he puts in here, he talks about is like stuff that happened to Kobe, like the helicopter, and like the day he won his last game. Like art, like I never knew this. Like the NBA has a curse, and that's why they say 2K has a curse. Cause when you become a cover athlete, you might fall off that game. I'm surprised I didn't fall off that. Well, that's next. You better not fall off. But the NBA 2K has a curse too. Let's get right. Let's get right into the video. Yeah, it's my channel. I was so surprised that I couldn't do this typing easy. Like, I'm surprised. Oh no, it's my thing. Wait. Yeah, because I don't want to start.
Very busy lives tend to overlook certain things that was actually right in front of them this entire time. Whether it's someone trying to tell you something or just never really noticed a small detail on your screen that was essentially a warning sign for what was to come. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a combination of predictions, coincident examples of foreshadowing that might have went completely over your head. So let's get started. I'm sure by now we've all heard about how Pistol Pete Maravich strangely predicted his very own death during an interview.
He predicts his own death?
No way even he himself
How
thought
can
that
you do
those
something like
words
that?
would actually translate to real life. Well, it looks like we should have been paying a little bit more closer attention during Kobe's game. First of all, before I get to that, have any of you guys noticed that a lot of special moments came at the free throw line for Kobe Bryant? His very first points he's ever scored of his entire illustrious career were produced at the charity stripe. His 80th, along with his 81st point of that legendary 2006 performance, also were made at the line. When he passed Michael Jordan for third place on the all-time scoring list, it once again came by a pair of free throws. And what do you know? The very last point he ever scored was at the stripe as well. Just something that I always took note of. And while everybody was
all of his shots were at the free throw. Every time he passed something, he shot at the free throw.
Including me, realized that those numbers would soon come into play in the near future.
Breaking news from this Sunday afternoon, five-time NBA champion, former league.
Yo! Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash at age 41. Now going back to this.
He realized that those numbers...
His last shot of the game was 41. And he died at age 41. And the NBA is a curse. His last final shot was 4.1. Kobe is 41. He died at age 41.
Would still come into play in the near future.
Breaking news this Sunday afternoon, five-time NBA champion, former league MVP Kobe Bryant died earlier this afternoon in Los Angeles in a helicopter crash.
Those 4.1 seconds left on the clock told a story. Just like the day when LeBron and the Lakers won this past championship. Try not to freak out when you hear this. The Lakers just won the title on October 11th, 2020. Now, what do you get when you add those numbers up? None other than 41. I don't have all the answers, but that is pretty.
I calculate this up too. Straight up. So 10 plus 11 plus 20. Oh, that actually equals 41. This is proof. 41. Y'all can see, that's 41. 41 straight games. Kobe's last shot was 41 points with 4.1 seconds on the clock. Kobe died at age 41. Is there a prediction when LeBron's going to retire?
Pretty creepy, if you ask me. Now,
That
hold
is
on. We're not done yet.
strange.
This coincidence, if you even want to call it that, will literally send chills up your spine. If we go back even further, this little short film, or if you want to say commercial, should have been seen as another red flag. In 2011, Kobe Bryant, Bruce Willis, and Kanye West teamed up with Nike for a project entitled The Black Mamba. And in it, Kobe relentlessly tries to get his hands on West, while several deadly assassins attempt to try and stop him. Towards the end, it looks like Kanye actually was able to flee the scene, but Kobe, being the assassin he was, picks up some sort of bomb and throws it directly at the helicopter, which, as you can see, causes it to explode. Now, fast forward to the tragic event.
No, don't deal with no devil up in here. No, that's the devil. Kobe should never pick up the ball. I feel like it's like the devil trying to send Kobe a message. Like, bro, you should never did that in the first place. So I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna teach you the right thing. Like that's the devil calling Kobe. That's the devil. Like, yo, that's the devil. Yo, now this is all matching up. 40, 40.1 seconds on the clock, right? Calculate that up in the calculator. 41 when the Lakers won. He picked up the ball which had a timer on it. But did it say the time?
Picked up some sort of bomb and throws it directly at the helicopter, which, as you can see, causes it to explode. Now, fast forward to the tragic event that took place on January 26th of this year. Many fans.
This is all matching up because he threw the ball at the helicopter. And in this video, you see the helicopter in this video that Kobe was in was flamed up on fire, and the helicopter in the other scene was flamed up on fire too. Ain't it was smoking?
Were absolutely shocked at the similarity they shared with one another, and as a result, this commercial was resurfaced.
And it went down. This thing is adding up.
Everywhere on social media. It was almost unbelievable, making many of us question, were they trying to tell us something all along? This is just scary. Here
It was on a. This thing is
we have a Pizza Hut commercial a year ago starring Maria Taylor that must have had a feeling about absence of fans before it became reality.
curse on
That's
this.
actually pretty insane, but this one is almost unexplainable. Remember when the Heat fans decided to head out early during Game 6 of the 2013 NBA Finals?
Yeah.
They believed that the game was pretty much over, and then they got a big surprise when they found out that Ray Allen hit a clutch shot to tie the game. Fortunately, was not allowed back in the building. Well, I just recently came across a 2005 Toyota commercial that looks foreshadowed what was to come 8 years later. Man, what a blowout.
Wow. These things have a curse on them.
Before the bell tolls, may not be there when the story unfolds.
As you just saw, Phil Jackson looked like he just got back from the future wearing that Jedi robe looking thing and actually kind of warned those Heat fans to stay loyal to their team,
They say,
possibly giving
cartoons
them
have
a
curses,
heads up
y'all.
in advance. I can't even wrap my head around just how accurate
They
the
ain't touch
commercial
nothing.
was.
You
I
gotta
find it
curse them.
suspicious that they chose to bait around Miami fans instead of like Houston Rockets fans, because before T-Mac pulled off one of the greatest comebacks of all time, their fans actually left the game prematurely as well, and would go on to find out about that epic comeback on the radio in their cars on the way home. That event literally took place around the same time that this commercial came out, so it would make more sense to use that fan base as an example. But no, for some strange reason, they went with the Heat fans. Odd, right? Back in 2016, State Farm teamed up with Chris Paul, Kevin Garnett, DeAndre Jordan, Kevin Love, and Damian Lillard to form a fictional family called the Hoopers. They released several commercials during the NBA playoffs that were a lot of fun, but they had no idea that they unknowingly predicted the following year, 2017, offseason. Well, at least to a certain extent. The first example was when the father of the family, Chris Paul, has a little talk about the birds and the bees to his teenage son, Kevin Love, changing the phrase to the Hawks and the Hornets.
Yeah. So I see you becoming a teenager. Been walking around acting all cavalier. I think it's about time we had that talk about the Hawks and the Hornets. No way. Dad, I'm not going to talk about that with you.
Well, just a year later, I don't know if many people caught this, but the Hawks and the Hornets would actually end up doing business together by trading Dwight Howard. The Hawks sent Howard to the Hornets. Not impressed? Well, this next one is pretty interesting. When Grandpa Garnett was desperately looking around for a pair of clippers so he could cut out coupons for some chicken nuggets, Kevin Love said this.
You just saved a bunch of money with State Farm by combining your home and auto insurance. You know what? It is a good deal. But so is saving $2 off these non-house nuggets.
Oh, I love nuggets.
That's crazy because the following year, before the draft, Cleveland was actually discussing a serious three-way trade involving Indiana and Denver that would send Kevin Love to none other than the Nuggets, while the Cavs would receive Paul George. It obviously didn't happen, but if you think about it, those very words might have very well came into play and was almost spoken into existence. Now, the last one was when Baby Dame blurted this out, responding to KG's Clippers search.
I need to cut these coupons, but I can't find one good clipper in this house to cut it with.
I bet you look hard enough, you find two good clippers around here. You looking?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah?
They got you to the Clippers.
No good clipper.
Which was just another sentence that eventually blossomed into fruition. By him saying no good Clippers, it basically meant bad Clippers. As you all know, Chris Paul would be traded to the Houston Rockets in 2017, while Blake Griffin, JJ Redick, and DeAndre Jordan were all either on the trading block or were seriously considering dipping out in infancy. They were having some real problems within the organization, and it looks like Baby Dame saw it coming. Now, sure, these might seem pretty insignificant individually on their own. Collectively, with them all taking place in the same offseason, it's definitely worth talking about. We're gonna end things by taking a look at a prediction that everybody laughed at initially. When Stephen A. Smith said that his dream NBA Finals matchup would be between the Lakers and Heat, back when the season was still young, we didn't really think much of it because he did only say that due to the amazing weather that those cities have. But when J.R. Smith came out and said the same thing, we should have took it more seriously. All the way back in February, yes, even before the season was suspended, J.R. Smith already had a strong feeling about what the NBA Finals would look like. Quote, bored on this. Let's knock out some questions. Who do you think will be in the NBA Finals?
They
Lakers
all
and
pick.
Miami. Call me crazy, but and that's exactly what many fans did. Nobody really believed that would be the finals because Miami's odds to get there at the beginning of the season did not look very promising. There was no way.
True.
JR was just crazy, right? Well, no, he obviously turned out to be correct, and the rest is history. So, did JR know something that nobody else did? I only asked a question
So he
because
predicted
he
Lakers
then
would win.
proceeded to sign with the Lakers just a few months later after that post. So maybe
Huh?
he knew all along. You never really know. So there you have it, guys. Possible warning signs that we were too blind to see.
The
Comment
NBA
down
is a
below
curse.
if there's
The
another
NBA and
example
the
that I
commercials
might
that
have
NBA
forgot to put
produces
in this
and
video.
like
Also, make sure to leave if
like
you enjoyed. And of course, don't forget to subscribe.
I
Thanks
gotta
for
be
watching.
more aware. Like
I spent
that's
9 years behind
crazy.
these walls for a crime I didn't commit. Becoming a lawyer
See, we
when
gotta
I was
start believing
63.
stuff.
Now
So
the
like
real fight begins.
like that is crazy. These predictions came out true. Like the Pizza Hut, I think it's the Pizza Hut commercial. She said there's not gonna there's like no fans. There's like no fans there, right? And like she said something else. And then look now, no fans, no fans, right? And then look at the NBA, where all the Heat fans left, right? And and then they came back, right? I can't speak. Like it was like one of those games where like I forgot what team was playing, but that commercial would actually it didn't predict it. A curse predicted as the Heats are winning, right? The Heats are losing, right? They're down by a lot, right? All the Heat fans leave because they knew the Heat were going to win. But then when they heard on the radio and stuff that the Heat were up, they all came running back. The doors were locked and everything, and like they couldn't get in. And then that commercial, it had the same thing. Like we gotta be on top of that. Like for now on, when I see something, like I know this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. What can we do? This I'll be like, dang, I can't speak right now. Like wow, the stuff we watch, the stuff NBA players do, can actually predict them as a person. The stuff like people do and stuff like that can predict them as a person like that. Like that's just wow. Like I don't know what to say. Make sure that you guys post application. Let's see. I'm gonna check out my Twitch and stuff. Today I went to 3. My IG today I went to 3, and everything else today I went to 3. So yeah, I'm speechless. Don't know what to say. I'll be on live on Twitch. At 6 o'clock. Central Standard Time. I'm in Chicago. Um, so make sure you go check. Make sure you go ahead up. Make sure you follow. If the bell button is on there, make sure you hit that bell button. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel for the reaction. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like button. I can't talk right now. Like, bro, my mind, like, it's creepy and weird at the same time. Like, peace out. Wow, I gotta start believing stuff now. That's crazy. Wow.